As you can see, class, it is a beautiful fall day out here. It's what you'll get to look forward to this weekend, should you get your 5-paragraph essay done on the days allotted in class. This week you'll have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to write your 5-paragraph essay. Now you've already written an essay that will be very similar. We're going to follow a very similar rubric, and so it should be pretty familiar to you. You'll have laptops on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you will also have the weekend to finish it if you need. So let me go ahead and talk to you really briefly, just give you a refresher as to how the 5-paragraph essay works, and also show you how you can hand that in and give you a few little tips. So just like our last essay, you're going to see that you guys have a couple different categories here. And so focus and development, we don't need to spend a lot of time on, but it's largely just having a good intro and conclusion. Most of you did very well with this last time, where you made an interesting introduction, and then in your conclusion, you summarize what you said in the paper and kind of leave the reader with, how do I apply this? We also have knowledge and use of information. This is where your facts come in. The one big difference about this paper is that you're going to have 2 reputable sources. We've talked a little bit about reputable sources this year, but reputable means probably shouldn't use Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is actually a very good place to start, because if you look at the bottom of Wikipedia, you can see a lot of sources that they cite that could be reputable, and it gives you some good ideas of where to start and what to look for. But Wikipedia itself is not a reputable source. So look for things that have .gov at the end or .edu. Sometimes .orgs can be good as well. And if it looks like it's kind of somebody made it themselves, just kind of somebody made it unprofessionally, it's probably not a great website to use that's reputable. So just make sure that you have 2 sources, and I'll show you an example of that here towards the end. Also, the other big difference is, because of the topic that we're going to have, which we'll show you in just a second, you need to have examples of photosynthesis. Your paper needs to incorporate a good amount about photosynthesis. So you should have terms like chloroplast, glucose, carbon dioxide, oxygen, chlorophyll, those sorts of things. That would be good to have to make sure that you understand. Alright, moving on to the next section. These are the easy points, but they're also easy to lose if you just don't follow directions. Please make sure that you guys are doing your red, your green, yellows, and reds. You know what to do. Your green is your topic sentence. Your yellows are your citing of information, your AC. And then your E's are your red sentences. That's where you're going to explain and use a lot of your information to support your case. Also, don't forget those transitions. Try to make them more interesting than first, second, third, but at the same time, those do work as transitions if you have to. The next category, another easy area, but also easy to lose points, is remembering your 5 vocab words. You need to use at least 5 vocabulary words from the year, preferably from this unit, and make sure that you bold them. And that's a big part. If you don't bold them, I don't know that you know that they're vocabulary words. And finally, just a minor thing, use of engaging language. Your sentences shouldn't be, I like photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is good. Photosynthesis uses the sun. That gets very old and very boring, and it's not really 7th grade material. Lastly, we do have some spelling and grammar issues a lot of times. So just have people proofread your paper and make sure there aren't any glaring issues. Most people get a couple points off here. There's really no reason for you to get a lot of points off. But if there are a lot of errors, I will take those points off. So once again, you'll be handed this rubric on Friday or on Wednesday. And you can also get it early if you'd like to. It is posted on eClass already. And I have the same example here again that I used last time. You're not writing about biomes anymore, but I'm using the same example to show you. Here's your green. Sorry, there's an airplane in the background. Here's your green, your topic sentence, your yellow, right, your C, and then your E right here. red doesn't show up, so I use purple. Then down here for your prompt, you can see that it's a little bit different as well. So you and your family are preparing for an upcoming get-together at Christmas, and now that you're a year older and you're more informed, you know that you can participate in some of the conversations. One of your relatives loves to discuss current issues, especially those related to the environment. Two of the big environmental issues your relative has talked about in the past have been deforestation of the rainforest and the pollution of ocean water and algae. Using your current knowledge of photosynthesis and respiration, as well as research, tell your relative your thoughts on deforestation or ocean pollution. This may be written as either an expository or persuasive essay. So this brings in the two more big differences about this paper. So even though the rubric is largely the same, the topic is obviously different to fit this unit. But secondly, instead of being argumentative this time, it's expository or persuasive. So you don't really have to have counter arguments. You don't have to make an argument. You can just say, look, here are some facts. Here's the situation. And you're either going to talk about ocean pollution or deforestation. And the reason that you're going to do that is because deforestation cuts down a lot of trees and plants, which obviously is going to affect photosynthesis, and that's going to give you an opportunity to talk about how that affects our world. Now, the ocean might be a little bit less known to you, but algae is a very big producer of oxygen, and it takes in a lot of carbon dioxide. And so pollution of the ocean does affect algae. Remember our video from back where that lake turned all green and all that algae came up? Well, that's partly a result of pollution, right? So that would be a good thing to research. So ocean pollution and deforestation are going to have a big effect on plant life and its absorption of carbon dioxide and giving out of oxygen. Now, I'll give you a couple more tips. You guys are able to read those on your own. You can take a look at the reminders. And then finally, here at the bottom, I have a place where you can, it's set up for you to have structure. You can use your own structure if you'd like. I know Miss Vo had some very good ideas as well, and she has some sheets that she might be able to share with you if you want to check those out. So let's move on really quickly to an example. You probably won't want to follow this link at home and maybe pause it and look at it. But just to show you a couple of the things that the student did well, right? They have a hook. They try to get individuals excited. They highlight or they underline in green their topic sentence, right? I think deforestation is a serious thing. Probably want to be a little bit more specific there, like deforestation is harmful to the environment. Deforestation causes global warming. I don't know, something. Then you notice the yellows, right? They said that deforestation is a bad thing. So then here they say, well, one reason that is bad is because it hurts animals. Right? Another reason it's bad is because it hurts plants. And then when they get down to the bottom, they say last but worst of all, deforestation leads to atmospheric problems. So it hurts the atmosphere. And all of those things follow from their green sentence. And then if you look at their reds spend their whole time talking about that yellow and giving examples and evidence. They also do a good job of bolding their vocab words. So we've got carnivores, which is from the last unit, and that's okay. But most of their vocab words here are dealing directly with photosynthesis, which is a good way to help me know that you understand photosynthesis, which is a big part of the points that you get on your paper. So they use glucose, they use carbon dioxide, they use photosynthesis and oxygen. One thing they don't really have, which I may take off points for, is that they don't really talk about respiration. And so respiration is a part of photosynthesis as far as the cycle goes. So that might be one thing that you want to also talk about. As long as you have photosynthesis very good, probably won't take points off for that. Just make sure it's a complete idea. Then at the bottom here, they listed some sources. And some of these I would check out. This right here, I know World Wildlife, right? I know what that is, .org. That keys you in that it might be a pretty good site, but I know what World Wildlife is, that site. So that's a good source. eHow, probably not a good source. But because they have this third source, National Geographic. Yeah, I know National Geographic, and I think that's a pretty reputable source. So even though they throw in a third not-so-great source, they do have 2 reputable sources, which is good. So that's an example of a pretty decent paper right there. The one thing that they don't do is, you'll notice, they give their last reason right here. They don't have a conclusion. I would have knocked off some major points for not summarizing it and bringing everything together. Alright, finally, we've got, let's see, oops, well, I guess I can't get this part out. So if you go to your site, which is going to look a little bit different than mine, what you're going to find is that you can submit your paper via eClass. This is going to be a good tool for you because I'll be able to grade it while I'm enjoying the outdoors here, and I can even be grading it while you guys are in the classroom. No promises. So if you go to calendar and you go down to November and you go to Wednesday, you'll notice that I've got 5-paragraph Dropbox. You can turn your paper into that Dropbox. All you have to do is click on it, and it'll open it up, and then for those of you who forget, you can just go to upload and find your document on your computer, your flash drive, or wherever else. Here is the rubric that I just walked you through, so you can get that as well. And I will also be posting this YouTube link to the video so that you guys can access the video for help at home. You can't access it at school because you can't get onto YouTube, and none of you ever use your phones at school, so you can't really access it on your phones either. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Mr. Sanders and Ms. Vo will definitely be able to help out with this because they've been with me for the last essay. So those of you in first period who don't have either Ms. Vo or Mr. Sanders, if you just relay any questions that you have to them, they can either help you or they can send those questions to me. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you have a good week and a half more without me. Don't enjoy it too much because I'll be back. Alright, thank you guys very much.